What happened in these past few months that the president is now threatening to shut down the border?
Just look at the math.
What do you mean?
Just look at the math. How many folks are coming across? This is a crisis. We need to fix it.
Now they want us to do math. President Trump continues to threaten to shut down the southern border as soon as this week. This comes as border crossings reached an 11-year high in February and are expected to increase in the coming months. But the U.S. Chamber of Commerce warns closing the border could inflict severe economic harm on American families and manufacturers, and that the U.S. would close the door to over $1.7 billion a day in trade. Meanwhile, the Associated Press reported today Trump is also looking to hire an immigration czar to coordinate his policies across agencies. Of those under consideration, the AP reports, quote, Trump is weighing two potential candidates for the post, former Kansas Secretary of State Chris Kobach and former Virginia Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli, two far-right conservatives with strong views on immigration. Jonathan Lemire is back with us. I never thought that two names could make me miss John Kelly and Kirsten Nelson's far-right views on immigration. What is it? I mean, they have put children in cages. On Friday, they announced a plan to deport unaccompanied asylum-seeking minors by themselves, essentially on unaccompanied minor trains and flights out of the. What isn't going harshly enough for him in the category of immigration?
Right. The idea of going even tougher seems sort of hard to believe, but that seems to be the message the White House is telegraphing. It's great work by my colleagues at the AP with this story. Now, it's not a done deal that this post is going to be created, but it shows you the renewed emphasis on this issue of immigration for this White House right now, even coming off of what they perceive, at least for now, is a victory on the Mueller report. They want to shift back to sort of what they believe is their core agenda, which is, of course, enforcing that southern border. The wall has not been built, although the president is going on Friday to the border in California to inspect a piece of it that's under construction. So you expect to hear a lot about this then. And now this new plan. First of all, they were cutting off aid. The U.S. has cut off aid to 3 Central American nations. Those the president feels are responsible for creating these caravans, even though most experts feel that will just make things worse, that if you want people to stay in their country, you should give that country money to improve conditions there. And now this threat to shut down the border, which is, no one thinks it can be done in a week's time, which is what the president suggests. People aren't even sure it's going to happen at all. He's threatened this twice before and hasn't followed through. But people that I've talked to in the White House suggest this time feels more real than others. There's a chance he does try to do this.
The idea of anything feeling real has got my mind spinning. But he's on a tirade tonight on Twitter. Talk about it.
Right. So in addition, there are Republicans who are very nervous about the plan to shut the border. There are also Republicans very nervous about the president's suddenly renewed interest in health care. But he's gone on a 3-tweet thread this evening suggesting that though he does want to repeal and replace Obamacare and create a new GOP plan, that he's punting it. He's pushing it beyond the 2020 elections. He says after the Republicans win back both the House and Senate. So we have a little optimistic electoral prediction as well. So he says he doesn't want to do that now. So I think in the short term, that's a relief for Republicans who did not want to be saddled with this. There's no plan. The White House did not have a replacement plan. But come 2020, this is going to be an issue again. It's going to be a major defining point for that election.
And maybe somebody reminded him that it was health care that helped Democrats sweep.
No question. And there were Republicans nervous that they could take more blows again if they were forced to deal with this day after day after day.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.